Hi, this is Elizabeth, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Last time on the Gregg and Dave Show. And thank goodness for that, because we have an adorable star. Yeah, I'm going to try that again in English.
It's time for the Gregg and Dave Show.
We do have a studio audience here at the Gregg and Dave Show.
We do.
Put them behind a wall and ask them to be quiet.
Featuring Greg Watsteiner.
We were just talking about spam.
And David Bobke.
I want to make sure I'm dating the right one.
Bravely bringing you the stories of the strange.
We all applaud Sweden for sticking with Trainee McTrainface.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Greggy McGregface.
What, you high? Now sit back and enjoy the show.
And we don't need to say any more about how unpleasant that is.
Hello and welcome, you fine human beings, and I guess animals too, to another episode of the Gregg and Dave Show. I am the Gregg.
And I am Archibald Pennyworth III.
Really? Is that your name today?
Yes, apparently Dave's show was found to be rather inadequate.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Mrs. Bale, lovely, wonderful Mrs. Bale's brought me in to replacement.
Okay. I also didn't know that inadequate had a T in it. Isn't it inadequate? Or is that just the way you British people pronounce things?
Yes, it's a very limited dialect that I share with a few other.
Yeah.
India,
perhaps.
India, who are you? What are you
Archibald.
doing in my seat? Out, baby, out! Okay, don't hit me. I'm taking the headphones off. Right? I don't know what the heck's going on around here. Mrs. Bale doing things behind my back. Getting terrible accents to try to replace me. What in the world? Hi, the Gregg.
Hi, Dave Show. How are you?
Oh, I'm Dave Show. Okay. Yes.
You are Dave Show.
This is Bale. If you're going to replace me, can you at least get a better British accent? Jeez.
Yeah, some guy that doesn't pronounce T's where D should be, please.
Yes.
Please, for the love of Public House Media, who's presenting this
my seat's wet.
Wonderful show to us today. Visit them to find good podcasts, and you can visit them at www.thephmedia.com or Dave Show,
www.thepmedia.com.
Thephmedia.com.
Yeah.
So check them out. There are all sorts of great shows there, including our show, of course.
Oh, of course.
Which is the best.
We're the best around.
Right.
Nothing's ever going to keep us down.
Dave Shaw, I'm glad you're back. I don't know if I could have put up with Archibald for the whole...
Is that what they're calling you?
However long this podcast.
Yeah, you sit in the corner over there. I'll deal with you later.
We have some fun stories on today's show, including a story about a flamingo. That's at the end of the show, so you want to keep it tuned to hear that story. But first off, Dave Show, have you ever flipped over a table before?
I'm about to flip over a table right now. You kidding me?
Right on Archibald's leg, right?
Right on Archibald's balding little head over there. Yeah, I see you're wearing a hat. I see the receding hairline, okay? Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just saying.
Right.
Looks kind of goofy on you because it's kind of the zigzaggy pattern.
Well, I'll get there someday.
Look like Greg cut your hair or something. I don't know where I'm going with that, but anyways. Yes, our first story, The Gregg, deals with, as you said, table flipping.
Table flipping. A wonderful sport. A
lovely sport if you're in Japan, because, of course, it's Japan that we're talking about with table flipping contests. But the Iwate, I believe, prefecture held the 12th Angry Tea Table Flipping Contest. And that just sounds like a fantastically good time to me. The regular event. The source on this is soranews24.com. And it says the regular event calls out the best tea table upenders around. I'm wondering how exactly they determine that before you get to the actual event. I mean, there's got to be some pretty good ones that weren't there, I would think.
Well, maybe there were some local competitions and in table flipping. Maybe this is something that happens every day.
Yeah, I suppose you go to local bars and whatnot. You find these guys at 2 a.m.
Yeah, people get maybe intoxicated and angry and start flipping over tables,
Yeah, it says here a shopping mall in the Iwate Prefecture was a venue for the 12th World, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this word, tournament. I'm presuming it's Japanese for table flipping. I'll just go with that.
Right.
But this is a regularly held event in which participants must shout a phrase of anger, frustration, passion, or hope while upending a small table and sending it flying. Sounds good to me.
Yes, and if you watch the video of this story, you will hear them shouting different things out. Both ladies and gentlemen, or I don't know if gentleman is the right word to use in this context, but you can hear them both shouting things out, and then actually you can hear the table going over. It's like, it's going, even ESPN has something to say about that. It's going, it's being flipped over, and Dave, I wonder if Americans did this. What would you say as you're about ready to flip over a table, Dave Show?
Well, you know what? Let's find out. I have an extra table here, right? It's wood and metal.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Gonna let the anger build up, and Mrs. Bell! Oh.
Did that feel good?
Yeah, it really did, actually. Felt quite good. And now I'll have to pick that table up later. Archibald, are you okay? I did send that sailing, didn't I? Yeah, Mrs. Bale, okay, yeah, well, he's fine. That's
okay.
The walls are red anyway. He'll be fine. It meshes in. It says the way it works is simple, the contest it is. Contestants first take a seat at a small table with imitation food set atop it. So it's not just a plain table with nothing on it, like the one I just flipped.
Right.
An elderly woman in cooking garb is seated next to the contestant, and when she touches their shoulder and gently asks them to stop, that's their cue to flip out, both figuratively and literally. So... I'm a little bit confused by how this whole thing gets initiated. It's not just a matter of take a minute and do like powerlifting where when you're ready, go ahead and do your thing. It's somebody's got to say, oh, stop. And then you flip out. I mean, I guess that makes it a little more fun in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
I found it interesting that they say stop. Anyway, there are a lot of interesting things to this story.
Indeed, there are. Now, if you were going to grab a table and flip it over the Gregg, do you have a particular phrase you think you'd go with?
Yes, and I'm not going to actually flip a table over because that would be flipping over my desk, and that would be a bad thing right now.
That would be a bad thing.
So, but I would probably say, let's see, what encouraging phrase would I say? I'd probably get a shameless plug in, like, listen to the Gregg and Dave show, and then I'd flip the table over.
That'd be fantastic. I'm reminded, actually, as you say that, of my principal in grade school who was trying to get us to not use words like darn or shucks.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, next time you want to say something like that, instead, say, Mom and Dad! And it was just the dumbest thing, because I actually remembered to do that once, and then I started laughing, and then, okay, well, I guess his point is made. It was very, very silly. Anyway.
One of the silly things Dave Show did in his grade school years.
Just one of many.
Was that a Catholic grade school? Was that a private school?
It was a private school. It was not a Catholic school, though.
Okay.
It was a Lutheran school, so, we're crazy, man.
Yeah.
But I digress. Participants can shout about whatever their hearts desire. As you said, the Gregg, this gets weirder and weirder. Rages this year included a man addressing all women with a, "What's wrong with me?" On the other hand, affirmations such as, "I want a job offer," or "I deserve a raise," could also be heard. Okay. Various items are placed on the table, but the key piece of equipment is a plastic fish, specifically a Pacific Sorry. While the player is only making contact with the tea table, their goal is to send that fish, and only the fish, as far as possible. In the end, contestants are judged on both distance of the sorry and overall performance. So I guess, does that mean the creativity of the flip or something? I mean,
this must take some rehearsal or practice or something like that. You know, they can't just come and do this type of thing like right on the spot. This must take some form of rehearsal.
Yeah, I think if say you were married and you were going to participate in the contest, you have to say, honey, I had to buy a new table. I've got to practice my table flipping. And I knew you'd get upset if I did it in the kitchen or the living room. This feels like a basement event to me. You got to go down to the basement and
right.
do your damage down there. Yes, interesting thing going on in Japan. As pretty much, I think everything in Japan is pretty interesting. Seems like they've got nonstop chaos and fun pretty much everywhere.
Japan, of course, the country who brought us Ninja Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
And now there's American Ninja Warrior, and it's just not the same thing. It's sort of like animals that are cloned.
Sort of like animals that are cloned. The Gregg, I was not aware that it was still or ever fully legal to just clone animals whenever you wanted. Willy-nilly, as they say.
Right.
This started back in the day, of course, with Dolly the sheep. Many years ago. I thought maybe we had put a hold on cloning. Thought, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. And, whatever. But no, apparently we can just go out and clone whatever we want, whenever we want.
Yeah, I agree with you. Animal cloning is something that hasn't made the news lately. But that's why you have to listen to the Gregg and Dave show. Yeah,
because where else are you going to find out about this stuff?
Right.
Like this right here from 9news.com.au. So we have the lovely Australians in on this one. And it is about the world's smallest dog who has been cloned. And the Gregg, I think we should play a little game here. How many times do you think the world's smallest dog has been cloned?
I'm going to say once.
Once is an excellent guess. Once, of course, I forget if Dolly actually got cloned more than once, now that I think about it, but nonetheless, one is a very good guess. The correct answer, however, is 49.
Wow.
49 times this dog has been cloned. So they must really like this dog, is what I'm thinking. But it says here, Miracle Millie holds the title of the world's smallest dog. Basically fits in the palm of your hand. That's how small this dog is.
Wow.
It's an itty-bitty little chihuahua thing.
I might like this dog.
I think you might. This is a 6-year-old chihuahua who is 9.5 centimeters tall. I mean, if you basically hold your hands out like you're, you put them together at the pinky, the dog will very easily fit in your hands. It's a very small dog.
That's why I'm saying I'd like the dog, because you can basically punt it across the room if you don't want anything to do with it. Granted, I'm not in favor of that. I'm not promoting that at all. But it's not going to jump on you too high, at least. It's not going to lick you. Well, maybe it'll still lick you to death.
Yeah, it'll just tickle you a little bit. Now, I will say, the Gregg, I don't think we are advocating punting dogs, especially when a dog like this is such a good flipping dog. You could just, yell out, I want to raise, and then flip the dog over.
Right.
Yeah. Nonetheless, the world's smallest dog, not the only record that she holds now. She has been recreated 49 times. Owner Vanessa Semler, 38, from Florida. Time out. Oh, this is another Florida person story. Why is it most of these crazy people are from Florida? What is it about Florida? There's a reason that we have this term Florida man. Florida man has a Twitter, for goodness sakes. Because of all the zany crap that goes on down there.
Right.
I digress. Vanessa Semler from Florida, who will not be getting any marriage proposals from me in the near future, for the record, reached out to the Soam Biotech Research Foundation in Seoul, Korea, to find out more about Millie's genetic structure and why she is so small. Well, that sounds innocent enough to me.
I like the name Millie, too. I'm liking this dog more and more as the story goes on.
There we go. Probably got a very annoying bark. I'll say that. Not to discourage you from getting a Chihuahua. The minuscule pup weighed only 28 grams when she was born. She was so small her entire body could fit in the head of a teaspoon, and there were concerns she would not survive. The original idea was to make 10 clones in total, 9 for research and 1 for us to keep, but they decided to clone her more times, Ms. Semler told Cater's news agency. So they wanted 9 to test on. That doesn't sound legal to me. I mean, if she consents to it, I guess maybe, I don't know. It all seems very strange. Nonetheless, it says pet cloning doesn't come cheap at more than $100,000 per clone, but it allows grieving pet owners to recreate their perfect pet. The Gregg, can you imagine cloning anything for $100,000?
I could not, Dave Show.
If we had to clone the Gregg for $100,000, we would certainly go and have a chat. For the record, the Gregg, we wouldn't get rid of you. We would go to our Grand Supreme Ruler and Overlord Baxter and see if we could get the money to clone you. The lab here was established in 2006 and now clone hundreds of dogs each year. Hundreds, the Gregg.
Hundreds of dogs.
Because we need more dogs in the world. Actually, I guess I could...
That's a lot of barking.
It really is. That's a lot of kibbles and bits they got to bring in. The cloning technique is the same method used on Dolly the sheep. Why wouldn't it be? The first cells were taken from Millie to be cloned externally. Then the nucleus, which contains her genetic information, was removed and saved. They inserted the embryo into a surrogate mother. And it does say the surrogate does not have to be a Chihuahua, but must be small enough to provide a similar environment for the pregnancy to succeed. And then they placed a picture of Millie next to a $1 bill, and to show you just how doggone small she is. Very, very small indeed. Basically a big rat. Not to insult Millie, but basically that's what we're looking at here.
I think you just did insult Millie. I'm hurt for Millie, Dave Show. I'm so hurt that I think we may need to take a commercial break to get over my hurt feelings for Millie. I don't even like dogs.
Can I tell you 12 of Millie's clones' names before we do that?
Yeah, sure.
Miss Semler currently lives with 12 of the clones, and their names are... Remember, we started with Millie here.
Okay.
Their names are Molly, Mally, Melly, Molly 2, Moo, Mila, Mary, Mimi, Moni, Minnie, Mella, and Mulan.
Wow, no dog McDoggy face, huh?
No dog McDoggy face, unfortunately. Which proves this woman's an idiot. Let's go to commercial. The Gregg and Dave Show will be right back.
They taste delicious.
Can people hear it on Spoofy?
Hey, Dave Show.
Yes, the Gregg.
Did you know that our podcast, as well as many other Public House media shows, is now on Spotify?
You mean we're on the Spoofy?
We are on the Spoofy. What's the Spoofy? Anyway. Spotify. We're on Spotify. Yay. So you can download our podcast and listen to us anywhere your phone goes or is.
Yeah, if Spotify is your thing, you can find the Gregg and Dave Show there right this second.
Yeah.
Because they've lowered their standards to allowing us on there, and we're grateful.
And sorry for you, the listener. But download the Gregg and Dave Show on Spotify.
You know the drill. Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com, Burnt Spirit, and Deuces are the songs this week. Go check out Incompetech.com. You know you want to.
Spitting's a dirty habit.
I know a worse one.
It's the Gregg and Dave Show.
And we are back.
We're back, and for the record, everyone, Archibald is fine.
Archibald is fine. Okay.
Archibald has been escorted out of the studio. He left his beverage behind, which tastes like flat Mountain Dew. Thanks a lot. And
is he on the?
It's better than no Mountain Dew.
Is he on the 10-day DL now? 15.
I don't know. Mrs. Bale, no, he has been released outright.
Oh, okay.
I am being told in my headset here. In fact, I think I hear him being driven away from the studio right outside. I don't know if the mics are picking that up or not, but
Right.
apparently he's leaving in a semi. So there we go, the Gregg.
You can find us, by the way, on Facebook at Gregg Dave Show. Facebook.com/Gregg with 3 G's, Gregg, Dave Show.
Yeah, 3 G's, yo. Now, the Gregg. Yes, the Gregg. I have to say, I believe you have a rather fantastic segue that you're about to throw down, are you not?
I would like to show the audience, however, I can't because this is an audio-only podcast, some great flamenco dancing. I don't know how to flamenco dance, by the way, but one can learn, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, cue the flamenco music.
Flamenco music, Mrs. Bale.
Okay. So our next story is about my favorite animal, not the flamenco, but the flamingo, often confused with flamenco dancing.
Indeed. And this story coming from the BBC once again. Lovely, wonderful BBC. At bbc.com in case you're confused as to what their website is. Story here, flamingo that escaped a zoo in 2005, spotted in Texas.
Of course.
Flamingo's not a common sight in the U.S. No, it's barring the plastic lawn variety. And it says here, a fugitive flamingo that escaped a Kansas zoo over a decade ago has been spotted in Texas. Now, if I was in Kansas at all, I would try to get out. With all due respect to our listeners in Kansas, hi, how are you? I have been to Kansas, albeit briefly, but nonetheless, the bird tagged as number 492, so already we're getting a bit of the prisoner vibe for listeners who know that show.
Oh, the flamingo doesn't even have a name. Poor thing.
Apparently not. It's simply 492. And, by the way, shout out to anybody who did get the reference to the prisoner a moment ago. Anyways, fled the Sedgwick County Zoo in Wichita, Kansas in 2005, but a summer intern at the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department reportedly caught sight of the escapee in Lavaca Bay on the state's coastline. Since 492 flew the coop, it has reportedly been seen in Arkansas, Louisiana, and the Gregg, even Wisconsin.
Wow. I haven't...
And our own Mrs. Bale made the sighting. Unofficially.
Yeah, unofficially, yes.
Unofficially speaking. Not getting into any legal issues there. Anyway, flamingos are not native to the U.S., appearing only occasionally in Florida, thousands of miles away. This flamingo's been busy, it says here. The African flamingo made its break from a Kansas zoo after keepers failed to clip its wings, and, been spotted in several states since then.
But they'll never do that again with one of their birds, one of their flamingos.
Yep, they're gonna strap that flamingo down and eat it. No, they're not gonna do that. Have you ever eaten flamingo? Is it any good, do you know?
I have not. No, I don't know.
Well, you'll be at the state fair, so maybe they'll have some there.
Right.
We're upsetting all the animal rights people.
Yes, we are.
All right, well.
But, they didn't even listen to the show to begin with anyway, so.
That's true. They think we're animals.
Right.
But they're not the kind they want to support.
Right.
But I digress. According to a report from an earlier sighting in the Kansas City Star, 492 began its life in Tanzania. Flamingo moved to South Africa before being shipped to the U.S. as one of 40 sent to Kansas in 2003, where a flamingo exhibit opened to the public the following year. I just feel like I have not traveled at all.
Okay.
I mean, this bird's been to South Africa, been to Tanzania. I'm sitting here. I've barely ever left the studio, for goodness sakes.
I just have a question here, a practical question.
Yes.
How do you ship an animal such as a bird? How do you ship that thing? Like, what kind of packaging might you use?
Lots and lots of bubble wrap. No. I'm sure they've got cages specifically designed for flamingos. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Something. Something big enough that they can move around a little bit at least.
Yeah.
But, probably a fairly costly venture.
When I was still writing for a local newspaper, I wrote a column on a missing flamingo named Floyd from a local community theater. And Floyd the flamingo was missing. I don't know if he had his wings clipped or not, but the secret behind that was the flamingo. I don't think it was actually a real flamingo. It was just kind of an... But, I shouldn't have said that, because for all our listeners know, it could have been a real flamingo. What kind of sound do flamingos make, Dave Show? Can you copy their sound?
Mrs. Bale, are you okay? What was that? Oh, that was a flamingo. Oh, I see. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
There you go.
That was either Mrs. Bale or she somehow smuggled a flamingo in the studio.
Yes.
Although, I have to mention the Gregg. I have seen this. I have seen a picture online, on the internet, so I know this is true.
Right.
That a pack of lawn flamingos will pick a living Tyrannosaurus Rex totally clean within an hour. They are ferocious.
Wow.
It's true. Saw the picture myself.
Well, this has been another high-flying episode of the Gregg and Dave Show.
Yeah, I feel like we should make the point, this bird's not dead.
Right. No dead bird.
For once we have a story about a living flamingo, doggone it.
Yes. And everyone lived happily ever after.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Actually, it does say that 492 fled with another bird labeled 347.
Oh.
347 is thought to have died, so...
Oh.
Okay, well...
Darn it, numbering flamingos when they shouldn't be naming them. What would you name this flamingo, Dave Show?
I would name it Mrs. Bale.
There you go.
Actually, no, I take that back because that's a stupid name. I would name it Mrs. Bale 2.
There you go. I don't know what I'd name it. Maybe it's like Matilda or Jasmine or Grant.
Not Floyd?
Not Floyd. Although Floyd the flamingo, there's some good alliteration there.
Oh, Flappy.
Flappy. There you go.
Flappy Flamingo.
Flappy the flamingo. Or just Flappy Flamingo. If you want to name the flamingo, go to our Facebook page at Gregg Dave Show.
Oh, dude. Duh, where's my head at? I got the perfect name. Flamingo McFlamingo Face.
There you go.
Done.
Done.
We've accomplished our goal here on the Gregg and Dave Show.
Yep.
We named a flamingo.
We had one job, and we did it.
Nailed it.
Hashtag. I'd fist bump you right now, Dave Show. If we
Yep, I can't quite reach.
Yeah, I can't quite reach.
Okay, we'll do it later.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes, and don't forget to pet your flamingo.
Dave, show that flamingo sound one more time.
Mrs. Bale, you got that thing? You've been listening to The Gregg and Dave Show. The Gregg and Dave Show theme is Take a Chance by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com.